For decades, Hollywood has been a place of glitz and glamour, where stars shine bright and untold stories remain hidden in the shadows. But what happens when one of its most controversial figures, Mel Gibson, steps forward with claims that go beyond the silver screen? Recently, whispers of an alleged secret agenda involving Oprah Winfrey have surfaced.
Most people's number one fear is public humiliation,
drawing attention from millions worldwide. Is there truth behind these allegations, or are they part of a growing wave of conspiracy theories infiltrating popular culture? Gibson, who has never shied away from controversy, has added his voice to a heated discussion surrounding child exploitation, philanthropy, and Hollywood's darkest corners. With the sound of freedom thrusting trafficking issues into the spotlight, the ties to public figures like Oprah are too compelling to ignore. But what's fact and what's fiction? What's really being said and what's being manipulated? In a world where social media spreads misinformation like wildfire, now is the time to dig deeper and uncover the real story behind the headlines. Stay with us as we unravel the mystery, separate truth from speculation, and explore the implications of Gibson's revelations. Mel Gibson's journey. Mel Gerard Gibson, born on January 3, 1956 in Peekskill, New York, is an American-born Australian actor and filmmaker who rose to international fame during the 1980s. Known for his charismatic performances in iconic action-adventure films such as Mad Max and Lethal Weapon, Gibson quickly became a household name. Beyond his success in front of the camera, he transitioned into a celebrated filmmaker, earning critical acclaim for his work as a director and producer. At the age of 12, Mel Gibson's family relocated to Australia, marking the beginning of his transformation from a young American boy to a global film icon. In 1974, he enrolled in the prestigious National Institute of Dramatic Art in Sydney, where he honed his acting skills. It was during his time at the institute that Gibson made his film debut, taking on a role as a surfer in the low-budget 1977 film, Summer City. This early exposure to the film industry marked the start of what would become an extraordinary career, as Gibson quickly rose from small roles in Australian cinema to worldwide fame, earning a reputation for both his acting versatility and his intense on-screen presence. After graduating from the National Institute of Dramatic Art in 1977, Mel Gibson joined the State Theatre Company of South Australia, where he gained valuable stage experience before transitioning to film. His big break came in 1979 when he starred in George Miller's Mad Max, a gritty, futuristic action film that catapulted him to international fame. As the renegade cop seeking vengeance, Gibson's raw, intense performance made him an immediate star. That same year, Gibson showcased his range by playing a mentally disabled handyman in the romantic drama Tim. His sensitive portrayal earned him the Australian Film Institute's Award for Best Actor, a recognition he would claim again in 1981 for his role in Gallipoli. In this World War I drama, Gibson's portrayal of a young, idealistic soldier added to his reputation as a versatile and highly talented actor able to transition between genres with ease. With the release of Mad Max 2 in 1981, later retitled The Road Warrior for its U.S. audience, Mel Gibson's career skyrocketed, transforming him into an international sensation. His portrayal of a vengeful, rugged hero in a dystopian future struck a chord with viewers, propelling him to global fame. Gibson further solidified his status as a major box office draw with the release of Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985 and the iconic Lethal Weapon series, which first debuted in 1987. In addition to his success in action films, Gibson earned critical praise for more dramatic roles. In The Year of Living Dangerously in 1982, he portrayed a journalist caught in the political unrest during the fall of Indonesian President Sukarno. His acting depth was also showcased in his directorial debut, Hamlet in 1990, the first film produced by his own production company, Icon Productions. This move into production and directing marked a significant evolution in Gibson's career, proving his multifaceted talents as both an actor and filmmaker. In 1993, Mel Gibson took his first step behind the camera with his directorial debut in The Man Without a Face, in which he also starred. The film marked a significant milestone in his career, showcasing his talents not only as an actor, but as a filmmaker with a clear vision. However, it was his next directorial project, Braveheart, released in 1995, that truly defined his legacy as a director. In this epic historical drama, Gibson portrayed Sir William Wallace, a Scottish national hero leading his country's fight for freedom. The film earned widespread acclaim and won 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, firmly establishing Gibson as a powerhouse in both acting and directing. After starring in a series of successful films including Ransom in 1996 and Signs in 2002, Mel Gibson made his highly anticipated return to directing with The Passion of the Christ in 2004. This film, which portrayed the final 12 hours of Jesus Christ's life, was based largely on the biblical Gospels and featured dialogue in Aramaic and Latin with English subtitles. The Passion became one of the highest-grossing films of all time, resonating deeply with audiences worldwide. However, it also sparked significant controversy, with critics accusing the film of being anti-Semitic, excessively violent, and historically inaccurate. Despite the backlash, Gibson's directorial vision and commitment to a raw, emotional portrayal of the Passion story remained a defining feature of the film. In 2006, Gibson followed up with Apocalypto, a violent and visually stunning film set against the backdrop of the collapsing Mayan Empire. Much like The Passion, the film featured dialogue in a foreign language, this time Mayan, with English subtitles, highlighting Gibson's continued interest in telling historical narratives with authenticity. While Apocalypto didn't attract the same level of controversy as The Passion, it once again showcased Gibson's bold approach to filmmaking, often pushing the boundaries of conventional cinema. In the early 21st century, Mel Gibson's popularity began to wane, largely due to a series of off-screen controversies that cast a shadow over his career. Many of these incidents were seen as evidence of Gibson's hostility towards certain minority groups, particularly Jews. These issues were amplified by the infamous 2006 recording in which Gibson made anti-Semitic remarks, which led to significant public backlash. Additionally, a 2010 domestic violence investigation further damaged his reputation. These scandals culminated in a period of relative silence for the actor, as Hollywood distanced itself from him. However, despite the tarnished image, Gibson made a notable return to acting in 2010 with Edge of Darkness, where he portrayed a police detective investigating his daughter's murder. The role marked his first leading performance in 8 years, signaling a possible comeback after a long hiatus from the spotlight. While the film didn't achieve the same level of critical or commercial success as some of his previous work, it marked a crucial step in Gibson's attempt to reclaim his place in the industry. In 2011, Mel Gibson took on a more vulnerable role in The Beaver, where he portrayed a depressed man whose life is revitalized through his use of a hand puppet. This film allowed Gibson to explore a different side of his acting, focusing on emotionally nuanced material after years of action-heavy roles. In the years that followed, Gibson returned to action-packed roles, starring in high-octane thrillers such as Machete Kills in 2013, The Expendables 3 in 2014, Bloodfather in 2016, and Dragged Across Concrete in 2018. These films embraced the gritty, larger-than-life action persona for which Gibson had become known. However, he also expanded his range, portraying a tough yet loving grandfather in the family comedy Daddy's Home 2 in 2017. Additionally, he starred alongside Sean Penn in The Professor and the Madman in 2019, a historical drama about the creation of the Oxford English Dictionary. These roles displayed his continued versatility, navigating between intense action and more subdued, character-driven stories. In 2016, Mel Gibson made a significant return to directing with Hacksaw Ridge, a biographical drama about Desmond T. Doss, a conscientious objector who served as an Army medic during World War II. The film was met with widespread critical acclaim for its powerful storytelling and gripping battle sequences. Hacksaw Ridge earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Picture, and Gibson received an Oscar nomination for Best Director.
The award goes to Mel Gibson.
This marked a triumphant return for Gibson to the director's chair after a long hiatus, proving that despite his past controversies, he still had the ability to captivate audiences and critics alike with his filmmaking talent. Mel Gibson has been involved in several controversies throughout his career, with his personal life and public statements often making headlines. His relationship with Oprah Winfrey has been particularly strained, with Gibson accusing her of having a hidden agenda. These claims have added fuel to the ongoing public debate about Gibson's views on Hollywood and the media. This controversy ties into Sound of Freedom, a film that also deals with sensitive issues like human trafficking. Like Gibson's allegations about Oprah, the film has sparked debates about how real-world issues are presented and manipulated in the media. As we look at Gibson's history with Oprah and his connection to Sound of Freedom, it's clear that themes of hidden motives and media influence continue to play a role in his public life. The untold truth behind Sound of Freedom. Mel Gibson has never been one to hold back, and now he's revealing a truth that could shake Hollywood to its foundations. At the center of this storm is none other than Oprah Winfrey, a media mogul who has shaped the cultural landscape for decades. As a powerful figure in both entertainment and philanthropy, Oprah's influence is undeniable. With her talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, she became one of the most beloved and trusted personalities in America, building an empire that extends across television, film, publishing, and more. However, behind the image of a self-made billionaire and philanthropist lies a more complex persona, one that has often been the subject of controversy. Oprah's connections with influential figures in Hollywood, as well as her outspoken views on various social issues, have led some to speculate about her true motives and her role in shaping the narratives within the industry. This has caught the attention of Mel Gibson, who, over the years, has become vocal about his disagreements with Oprah and what he perceives as her hidden agenda. Sound of Freedom, directed and co-written by Alejandro Monteverde, is a powerful action thriller that has captured widespread attention for its intense subject matter, the rescue of children from trafficking. This 2023 thriller stars Jim Caviezel, the same actor who portrayed Jesus in The Passion of Jesus Christ. The story follows a U.S. federal agent who goes rogue on a mission to save children in Latin America. The film opens with the harrowing case of a young girl who is abducted and sold into slavery. Ballard, played by Jim Caviezel, leads a dangerous mission to infiltrate the underground world of trafficking and free the children trapped in these criminal networks. The plot highlights the moral dilemma Ballard faces as he navigates through corrupt systems and risks everything to save innocent lives. As he works alongside other agents and activists, the story reveals the disturbing reality of modern-day slavery, as well as the emotional and physical toll that such a mission takes on those involved. The film's cast amplifies its impact. With supporting roles from actors like Bill Camp and Javier Godino, Sound of Freedom assembles a dynamic ensemble that brings urgency and emotion to this narrative. Despite its low budget, the film has exceeded expectations, grossing over $180 million at the domestic box office since its release on July 4th. It has even outperformed major Hollywood blockbusters like Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1 and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, becoming the highest-grossing independent film since Parasite in 2019. This unexpected success has fueled much discussion, particularly regarding the film's serious topic and its impact on public awareness about human trafficking. Mel Gibson, a strong supporter of the film, has helped bring even more attention to its message, which aligns with his outspoken views on various social issues. In the following section, we'll dive into how Sound of Freedom connects with Gibson's personal beliefs and his history of challenging mainstream narratives in Hollywood. Sound of Freedom has become the center of controversy, with critics arguing that the film distorts the reality of child exploitation and promotes conspiracy theories tied to the right-wing movement. This criticism has been fueled by the involvement of Tim Ballard, the real-life figure the movie is based on, and actor Jim Caviezel, who has publicly supported certain ideologies for years. Their ties to this conspiracy theory have led critics to question whether the film promotes exaggerated or misleading depictions of child trafficking, while some fear it may encourage right-wing extremist views. These connections have led some to accuse the film of sensationalizing its message and aligning with conspiracy-driven narratives, which have been widely discredited. Despite these concerns, the film continues to generate discussion, particularly around its portrayal of human trafficking and its impact on public awareness of the issue. The controversy surrounding the film highlights the complex intersection of entertainment, politics, and social issues, as well as the challenges faced by filmmakers and activists when tackling sensitive topics like child exploitation. Around late 2020, QAnon began using claims about child trafficking as part of their outreach efforts. As reported by the New York Times, members of the movement started flooding social media with posts about human trafficking, joining parenting groups on Facebook, and promoting hashtag campaigns like #SaveTheChildren. This tactic helped them attract a wider audience by tapping into a cause that many people care deeply about while also spreading their conspiracy-driven narratives about the issue. As QAnon's focus on child trafficking grew, they began shifting the conversation toward unfounded and baseless conspiracy theories about who they believed was behind the trafficking. These theories pointed to a group of supposed elites. The backlash from these controversies became so intense that the film's distributor, Angel Studios, has firmly denied any political connections or ties to QAnon. In an interview, Angel Studios CEO Neil Harmon stated, "Anyone who watches this film understands it's not about conspiracy theories or politics." Harmon emphasized that Sound of Freedom is a story meant to shed light on the issue of human trafficking and should not be seen as aligning with any particular agenda or movement. This stance aims to distance the film from the controversies surrounding some of its supporters and their views. Alejandro Monteverde, the director and co-writer of Sound of Freedom, who is best known for his 2006 drama Bella, a film that won the top prize at the Toronto International Film Festival, has also addressed the controversies surrounding the movie. In an interview with Variety, Monteverde dismissed the claims of the film's connection to QAnon as ridiculous. He emphasized that the movie's focus is solely on raising awareness about the global issue of human trafficking and not on promoting any conspiracy theories or political agendas. The journey to bring Sound of Freedom to the screen was anything but smooth. Initially, the film was picked up for distribution by Fox Latin America. However, after Disney acquired Fox in 2019, the project entered a state of production limbo for nearly 5 years. Reports suggest that Disney ultimately decided not to release the film, but they allowed the filmmakers to buy back the rights. The challenges didn't end there. The release was further delayed by the pandemic, and several major studios and streaming platforms declined to distribute it. Finally, in March 2023, the filmmakers reached an agreement with Angel Studios, which took on the task of distributing the film. This partnership proved pivotal in bringing Sound of Freedom to audiences, where it has since achieved remarkable success despite its turbulent history. Oprah's controversial associations. Jeffrey Epstein, a wealthy financier and convicted offender, was closely tied to influential figures in politics, academia, and entertainment. His legal troubles began in 2005 in Palm Beach, Florida, when he was accused of paying a 14-year-old girl for illegal acts. Despite the seriousness of these allegations, a controversial 2008 plea deal allowed him to serve a light sentence, raising questions about his powerful connections and the justice system's fairness. In 2019, investigative reports, particularly by Julie Brown of the Miami Herald, uncovered the scope of Epstein's abuse and criticized the leniency of his earlier plea deal. These findings led to renewed legal action, and Epstein was arrested on federal charges of trafficking. While awaiting trial, he was found dead in his jail cell, officially ruled a suicide. His death left many questions unanswered and sparked conspiracy theories about his connections to high-profile figures. Jeffrey Epstein's case is a clear example of how power and secrecy can protect individuals within elite networks. Despite being accused of serious crimes in 2005, Epstein avoided major consequences for years due to his powerful connections and a controversial plea deal. His arrest in 2019 for trafficking brought renewed attention to these issues, but his death in custody left many questions unanswered. Epstein's ties to influential figures, including rumored links to Oprah Winfrey, have fueled speculation about what may be hidden within elite circles like Hollywood. His story highlights how such networks can evade accountability, making Mel Gibson's allegations even more compelling. However, it's important to keep in mind that there has been no proof, and throwing around allegations can be harmful. It raises an important question. What else might be concealed in these spaces of influence and power? Epstein's case was part of a troubling pattern of abuse and cover-ups involving powerful figures in Hollywood. Much like Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, a once powerful film producer, was able to exploit his position for decades without facing significant consequences. In October 2017, the New York Times and The New Yorker revealed that over 80 women had accused Harvey Weinstein, a prominent Hollywood producer, of various forms of misconduct spanning at least 3 decades. These accusations included RPE, assault, and harassment, and were part of a larger pattern of abuse in the entertainment industry. Weinstein's behavior had long been an open secret, but it wasn't until these reports, along with others, that the full extent of his actions came to light, igniting the #MeToo movement. Harvey Weinstein and Oprah Winfrey had a close relationship for many years, and Weinstein reportedly used this connection to gain the trust of his victims. Actress Katia Noble shared her experience. According to Entertainment Weekly, Noble said Weinstein would often use the fact that Oprah was seen swinging off his arm to make him appear trustworthy and credible to young women in the industry. This connection raised questions about Oprah's awareness of Weinstein's behavior. Although Oprah has publicly distanced herself from Weinstein after his downfall, her long-standing friendship with him has been a topic of debate, especially considering her public stance against abuse and exploitation in Hollywood. Critics argue that this relationship highlights the systemic nature of Hollywood's culture of silence and protection, where even powerful figures like Oprah may have turned a blind eye to the behavior of men like Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein's case ties into the broader conversation about abuse and power dynamics in Hollywood, which also involves Oprah Winfrey, a prominent figure in the entertainment world. Oprah, who has been a vocal supporter of survivors and a critic of the culture of abuse in Hollywood, has had connections to Weinstein for years. She spoke out publicly about the systemic abuse women faced in the industry, especially after the rise of the #MeToo movement. However, some critics still question how much Oprah, given her significant influence, knew about Weinstein's actions, or how complicit the industry was in enabling such behavior for years. Her association with Weinstein raises important questions about accountability in Hollywood. While Oprah has been a leading advocate for justice and women's rights, her past connections to Weinstein have led some to wonder how deeply she was involved in the industry's culture of silence and protection of powerful men. Weinstein's eventual conviction and the exposure of his long history of abuse only intensified these questions. The same issues of unchecked power and systemic exploitation are at the heart of films like Sound of Freedom, which tackles human trafficking. Just as Weinstein's actions were part of a larger problem in Hollywood, the broader system that allowed his abuse to continue might also be present in other industries, including those portrayed in films like Sound of Freedom. Oprah's role in Hollywood and her past associations with figures like Weinstein make her part of this ongoing conversation about power, abuse, and the need for accountability. In a 2018 post on Instagram, British singer Seal accused Oprah Winfrey of being aware of Harvey Weinstein's abusive behavior towards young women for decades, while choosing not to speak out. Alongside the post, which featured a meme of Winfrey and Weinstein, Seal sarcastically remarked, "Oh, that's right. You'd heard the rumors, but had no idea he was serially assaulting young, starry-eyed actresses who didn't know what they were getting into." He continued, suggesting that Winfrey's sudden shift from silence to being portrayed as a champion for victims was hypocritical, given her long-standing ties to Weinstein. The meme displayed photos of Winfrey and Weinstein together at various events, including one where Winfrey is seen kissing Weinstein's cheek with the text, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution." Seal's post adds another layer to the ongoing scrutiny of Hollywood's complicity in the abuse scandal, casting doubt on Winfrey's role in protecting powerful figures within the industry. This claim adds to the growing list of allegations linking Winfrey to figures accused of misconduct in the entertainment industry. Seal's statement further fuels the controversy surrounding Oprah's connections to powerful figures in Hollywood, casting a shadow on her long-standing public image as an advocate for women's rights and justice. The claim comes amid an increasing number of accusations against Winfrey, including her ties to figures like Weinstein, who has been convicted of multiple counts of assault. Seal's accusations underscore a broader concern about the culture of silence and complicity in Hollywood, which has long been criticized for protecting high-profile individuals at the expense of victims. This is a significant moment in the ongoing discourse about Hollywood's failure to address abuse, with Seal's post drawing attention to Winfrey's role in this narrative. Oprah Winfrey's association with high-profile individuals involved in serious allegations has been a focal point in recent years. From her close ties to Harvey Weinstein to her connection with João Teixeira de Faria, better known as John of God, the media mogul's involvement with questionable figures continues to spark public debate. Oprah Winfrey's controversy involving the Brazilian spiritual healer João Teixeira de Faria, commonly known as John of God, has stirred significant public discussion. John of God gained international fame for his supposed healing powers, attracting thousands of followers, including celebrities. Oprah herself visited John of God's healing center in Brazil for an episode of The Oprah Winfrey Show in 2010, where she publicly hyped him for his miraculous abilities. However, the situation took a dark turn when in 2018, John of God was accused by numerous women of abuse. These accusations detailed instances where women were allegedly manipulated and assaulted during their visits to his healing center. Following the allegations, João Teixeira de Faria was arrested and later convicted on multiple charges of abuse. This controversy placed Oprah in a difficult position. While she had previously endorsed John of God as a legitimate spiritual healer, the revelations about his crimes cast a shadow over her support. Critics have questioned whether Oprah overlooked the allegations due to her admiration for him, or whether she was simply unaware of the darker side of his operations. The situation has led to a broader examination of Oprah's judgment and whether her involvement with controversial figures like John of God undermines her credibility as a public advocate for women. The allegations surrounding João Teixeira de Faria, known as John of God, add to the growing list of controversies linked to Oprah Winfrey. Her visit to his healing center in 2010, once celebrated as an exploration of spiritual wellness, now raises questions in light of the abuse accusations leveled against him. Whether she was aware of his actions remains unclear, but this connection, combined with her ties to other controversial figures, has raised concerns among the public. While Mel Gibson has not openly accused Oprah, his criticisms of a powerful elite circle raise speculation. Could Oprah, once seen as a beacon of hope and authenticity, be part of the same system Gibson denounces? How many others in the entertainment world might be connected to these troubling networks? As we ponder these questions, one thing is clear: Hollywood's glamorous surface hides many secrets. How much of what we admire is real, and how much is a carefully crafted illusion? Keep in mind that a lot of this information is regarded as speculation and unconfirmed, and should be approached carefully. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more.